Yeah, Jeff actually was my professor for two semesters here at campus, and I didn't even know Jeff was part of his that had a ministry going until I kept seeing his emails that said live generously on the bottom, and I always thought that was kind of interesting because I was like, that's a pretty cool thing to kind of live by, and then later on, Jeff actually I was in the middle of his basketball class, and I remember getting an email from him about an Egypt trip opportunity that he had available, and I'd never been out of the country before. I thought I was crazy at first. Even told my parents at first that it was going to be kind of crazy, and they thought I was crazy. But a lot of prayer through that process, and really, that's kind of where my initial start with Red River Ministries started, was with that trip to Egypt. And so I remember dialoguing with Jeff a little bit throughout that whole time, just trying to figure out this is the right fit, and eventually decided to go, and that was kind of the first step towards that connection there, for sure. Red River has been well, definitely, that trip for sure was a huge turning point in my life, just as far as being in a situation where I kind of had to completely rely on God to be in an area that I was not comfortable with, Egypt. I'd never been in that kind of place, and working with a group of people I had no idea who they were. I think I knew Jeff, and I was in one other guy from one other meeting and before the whole thing started. So, I think it just changed my perspective a little bit on how we're supposed to engage people and really meet them where they're at. And we got to go over and experience something across in Africa, and I didn't ever think I'd be over there in a situation like that, where I would be having to intentionally coach and mentor these students that had no idea who I was. I didn't know who they were, but we had connection through volleyball, a connection through sports, a connection through God, and that was cool. So that was definitely the perspective change for sure, and how to really engage people. So the impact that Red River's had for me since I've been back, that was only a 2-week trip, but I think huge implications it's had since then. I think just some opportunities God's kind of put in front of me. I lead a college ministry right now, or co-lead a college ministry, so I get a chance to work with a lot of college students all day, every day, and I think being in a position where you're kind of forced as a leader to lead these students, and sometimes it's uncomfortable, but a lot of times you're having to say, okay, God, what do I do here? And He just kind of provides, whether it's through a certain person, relationship, or opportunity. So I definitely think it's been a huge step in my leadership development as I've come back here. So it's been cool, real cool. So, well, most of my time right now is spent up in North Austin. My time at UT, I wish I could spend more time on UT. My time on campus has kind of gone down since I graduated, but I definitely see God working in a lot of ways throughout Austin, and just through different community, Austin Community College and Concordia and UT. There's 3 main areas that God's really been doing a lot of work in, and bringing students to really understand what it means to live by faith, to be known by love. And that's kind of one thing that we've been really trying to stress, or I've been trying to stress in my ministry, is having real relationships with people that are on track with what you're doing. And so I think it's been there's a lot of excitement going on in Austin, and it's just really cool to see that God's actually taking time to dive into our lives and really give us an opportunity to kind of share that word, share the gospel through that. So it's been cool.
That's great. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good time, man. So.